I had a couple of requests, so that is starting. So if you will make your way to your mat, to a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you, cross-legged. Remember to have pillows or blocks or something nearby if you need to hold on to something or put something underneath you for support for these poses. So if you will, move into that comfortable cross-legged position. If your legs are way up, feel free to put some pillows underneath them. If cross-leg doesn't work for you, legs in front of you, sitting on your legs. Some people like to sit like this on their feet, whatever works for you for these first breathing exercises that we will do. And let's just settle in, and you can bring your hands to your knees, your feet up, and let's join our thumb and our pointer finger this morning on top for a mudra that brings more flow to our heart. And we will just close our eyes. Go ahead and shrug your shoulders up and let them relax down your back. You can slightly tilt your head forward so your chin is going towards your chest. And close your eyes. And you can just listen or practice, but I will invite you to chant one Om with me. And if you're at home by yourself, who's going to hear you? This will wake up stimulate that vagus nerve and help us to more deeply relax. So go ahead and inhale. And on the exhale, Om. Go ahead and come back to your natural breath, making sure you're relaxing your shoulders down your back. And go ahead and just breathe in and out your natural breath, and you can set an intention for your practice. Something positive energy for yourself or for someone else, or just something that you hope to accomplish with your practice today. And we'll come to a moment of silent breathing in and out through your nose. If your mind starts to wander, concentrate on the breath coming in and out of the end of your nose. On your next exhale, squeeze all of the air out of your lungs. And with your lips sealed, inhale all the way up past your belly, through your chest. Imagine that you're inhaling all the way to the top of your head. And when you get there, see if you can take one more sip of air. Pause for a moment and open your mouth and slowly exhale like you're fogging up a mirror. When you get to the bottom of your exhale, hold for a moment, seal your lips, and inhale slowly all the way to the top. When you get here, pause for a moment. Again, open your mouth and sigh it all out. When you get to the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment, seal your lips and inhale. Remember, when you get to the top, see if you can take one more sip of air. Keep your lips sealed this time and exhale slowly through your nose, but keep that growl in the back of your throat as you are exhaling. When you get to the bottom of your breath, pause for a moment and then inhale slowly all the way to the top of your breath. This is going to be yogi's choice. You can continue exactly with these breaths at your own pace. You may decide to practice square breathing, where you, uh, after you inhale, you are going to hold your breath for the same amount of time that you exhale. You may practice with counting. You may practice with estimating how long you're holding or breathing. Go ahead and practice on your own. So, again, inhaling slowly, perhaps pausing for the same amount of time or a shorter amount of time, exhaling slowly, pausing before you inhale. So go ahead and we'll take a few rounds of this ujjayi breath on our own. On your next round, come back to your natural breath. And remember, you can take this kind of breath at any time when you need to calm down your central nervous system, calm down anxiety, anything to help you with that. And the Om that we did practice at the beginning does that as well by stimulating the vagus nerve, and then using the breathing technique can help to calm you down. Now that we've calmed down, let's pump up our energy a little bit with some yoga breathing. And our first breathing is going to be that shoulder shrug, where and you might need a tissue handy for this. And remember, we're going to be doing that breath of fire through our nose, in and out really fast. So the breathing will be like in and out very quickly. And we're going to shrug our shoulders. If you have any shoulder injuries, you can skip any movements that do not work in your body. I'll remind you, you should not feel shooting pain at any time. So go ahead, your hands can just, I'm putting mine face down on my knee, palms down on my knees. And we'll practice about 20 of these, so you can go at your own pace. So let's begin in and out through our nose, shrugging your shoulders with the inhale and exhaling with the shoulders down. And so you'll do a very quick in and out through your nose with your mouth sealed. So we'll begin this breath of fire with a shoulder shrug. When you finish, you can come back to your natural breath. We'll practice the same breath through your nose with our next movement. Go ahead and bring your hands up so that they're parallel to each other, elbows up parallel to your shoulders. Make sure you're relaxing your shoulders down your back. You don't want to tense up too much. And on the inhale, we're going to open like a book. And on the exhale, we'll close. Your arms will never touch. And so this one will look like this. So inhale, exhale. And we'll do 20 of those. So go ahead and begin at your own pace. And we'll come back to our natural breath, resting your hands for just a moment. So if any of these don't work and some of the other ones do, you can repeat the one that works if something doesn't work in your shoulders. Our next one, we're going to take a fist, and you can keep your thumbs out, and we're going to punch up. And then, so on the inhale, we'll punch up, and on the exhale, we'll bring our shoulders down. So let's do 20 of these. So go ahead and begin. And then come back to your natural breath. And we'll pause with our natural breath for just a moment. And then while we're here in the seated position, let's inhale and stretch up. And on the exhale, let's twist left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you, looking over your right shoulder. We'll pause here for a couple of breaths, holding this nice stretch. On the inhale, you can twist more. On the exhale, you can relax a little bit. So inhale, pulling, and exhaling, relaxing. On the next inhale, let's come back to center. And we will twist the other way, right hand on your left knee, left hand behind you, looking over your shoulder. On the inhale, see if you can twist a little bit more. On the exhale, relax. And come back to center. And on our next exhale, let's bend towards the right. And on the inhale, come back up to center and bend to the left. Inhale, come back to center, bend to the right. Inhale, come back to center, bend to the left. Inhale, come back to center, and rest your hands on your knees. Let's work out our neck a little bit this morning. So go ahead, and you can close your eyes if you like, and bend your neck down, your chin towards your chest. And just breathe here and hold it for a moment. You should feel a good stretch in the back of your neck. Go ahead without lifting your head and turn your chin towards your left shoulder, still facing down. And breathe here. You should feel a good stretch on the right side of your neck. Again, no shooting pain, but that's your body telling you to back out if you do. And come back to center. Pause for just a moment, and we will go towards our right shoulder or your other shoulder. And come back through center, and you can slowly bring your head up. And let's take some head rolls, just slowly coming around, nice and slowly, twisting all the way around. And we'll go the other way. Let's meet in tabletop. So we'll come to tabletop with our hands underneath our shoulders, our knees underneath our hips. Make sure you're clawing your finger pads so that all of the weight is not on your wrists. And if you look between your legs and you see your toes, scoot them out so that you do not see them. And on the exhale, let's drop our bellies and lift our tails and our gaze. On the exhale, we will, I think I did that oppositely. On the exhale, we will arch. And on the inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. So you can come up on your fingertips if you want. So practice a few of these with your own breath. On the exhale, we arch or fold. And on the inhale, we look up. You can come back to a neutral tabletop, and you can look over your right shoulder and move your hips to the right. Come to the center, inhaling and exhaling to the left. At this point, it's a little bit of yogi's choice. You can continue with cats and cows and wagging the dog. If downward dog is in your practice, you're welcome to tuck your toes and come up, and you can walk the dog a little bit. If you need a little bit more strength, you're welcome to come to plank pose, but you don't have to. You're always welcome to come to your knees as well. If you'd like to take a flow, if you'd like any movement that feels good in your body, you could do some coming around in circles, just any stretching that you need while we are here that works for you. Again, you can continue in cat and cow. And in any yoga practice, you're always welcome to come down into child's pose whenever you need a rest. So go ahead and stretch that out. We'll take a few more breaths here. We're going to meet in standing. So however you would like to get there. So take a couple more breaths here in your cats and cows, and we will meet in standing, and I'll wait a moment for everyone to get here. So go ahead and have your feet about hip width distance apart. If you ever want to measure that, it's 2 fists between your feet, usually is about the right amount. And, be on the 4 corners of your feet, little slight bend in your knees. You don't want to lock your knees. Go ahead and inhale and look up. You can arch back if that works for you. And on the exhale, we are going to airplane our arms out and go ahead and, with a big bend in your knees, come all the way down until your belly rests on your thighs. And if it works for you, you can grab for opposite elbows. Let your head, neck, and shoulders totally go. I like to imagine my head as a coconut hanging heavily from a tree. Just let the back of your neck totally go. You can work on straightening legs, maybe one at a time or not. You can sway side to side. Bend your knees in whatever amount it takes for you to bring your hands to the floor. And you can stretch here. And go ahead and take your hands, if it works for you, and walk to the right, keeping your hips forward. So we're twisting in our torso above our hips. And come back to the center. And we will twist to the other side. Come back to center. And let's go ahead and just go back to ragdoll, that pose where we are holding onto our elbows, letting our heads go. And make sure you are breathing deeply in and out through your nose. Don't ever hold your breath in yoga. Let your arms go down and then come up one vertebrae at a time. Your head will be the last thing to come up. And we'll come back up to standing. Go ahead and let's take another good morning stretch up towards the ceiling. And we'll work on a little bit of balance. So if you want to be near a wall or a piece of furniture, that's absolutely fine. Sometimes if you're on carpet and a mat and it's really thick, it might be better to stand just on floor with a little bit less. So there's a little bit less movement going here. Let's just do a really simple one today. So just standing, go ahead and whichever foot, I'm going to go on my left foot first, but you can make, it's yogi's choice if you would like to go on whichever side first. So go ahead and give yourself a little bit of spring in whichever knee you're going to stand on, and pull your other knee up and just hold on to your knee with the same hand. So I have my right knee up and my right hand is on it. If your left hand is up, it's there. If you would like to get a little fancy, you can send your opposite arm up and just breathe here. If you are more advanced and I'm not feeling it today, you can grab for your foot and straighten your leg if you would like. But just try to hold this. If you fall out, just get right back in. And breathe. And you can go ahead and send your leg down to meet the other foot. Go ahead and we will practice that on the other side. So again, get a little spring in which other foot is going to be your stable foot. And then just lift. I'm lifting my left leg up and holding on to it with my left hand. Just parallel with the floor. Your foot can relax. And you can send your opposite arm up. And just breathe. Make sure you're looking at something that is not moving. That would not be me. Something in your room that is not moving. If you fall out, just get back in. And you can go back and send your left hand leg down to meet your right. And you can sway back and forth a bit. Let's go ahead and stretch one more time up. And we will come down to the mat. And you can come down to a lying down position. And go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. and roll on that lower spine. And you can send your left leg out long. If you need a little extra challenge, you can hover that left leg off the mat, or you can just leave it on the mat. Left hand out at your side, right hand on your knee. Let's wake up our hips a little bit. So draw those big circles on the ceiling with your hand on the top of your knee, drawing circles. And then let's draw those circles the other way. And then come back to the middle and take your clasp below on your shin and pull your knee towards your right armpit. And on the inhale, pull. And exhale, relax your shoulders into the mat. Inhaling, pull. Exhaling, relax. Remember to keep your lips sealed and all the breathing will be through your nose. This time, inhale your knee towards the center of your chest. And exhale, and you can release your right leg down to meet your left, and then you can hug your left knee in, and then put your left hand on top of your left kneecap, right hand out to your side, and draw big circles on the ceiling with your left hand and knee. And then draw those circles in the opposite direction. This wakes up the blood flow in our hips. And then go ahead and hug your knee towards your left armpit. On the inhale, pulling. Exhale, relax into the mat. Inhale, pull. Exhale, relax. Inhale, pull. Exhale, relax. Inhale this time towards the center of your chest. And then send your left leg down to meet your right. And then you can pull both of your legs in and you can roll. And we're going to come up to seated. So any way you want to get there, but if you'd like to massage your spine and it works for you, you can put your hands behind your thighs and you can rock. And you can take this a few times, just rocking all the way up. You might rock all the way up to the back of your neck. If that does not work for you, just meet us up in seated position. And today we are going to bring the soles of our feet together. And for a lot of people, that means that your knees are up. So put a pillow or some pillows underneath because you don't want to have your legs just hanging out in the air for this one. And you can experiment with having your feet closer or further away. If it's closer, you're going to be, it's going to be more on your hips and on your thighs. If it's a little bit further away, you'll get more of a back stretch here. So anyway, we're going to fold forward with our feet together. Again, if this does not work for you, you're always welcome to just do a simple forward fold with your legs forward, but we'll try to stretch and open our hips a little bit with this one. So go ahead, whatever, get seated. Have some pillows under your knees if you need them, if they're not towards the floor, which for most people they are not. So we'll go ahead and inhale, and then with your body just coming forward, and your hands can go wherever they land. And when you come forward, you might want to put some pillows here. You're welcome to stack up a stack of pillows and have them here so that when you're coming down, you're just like this. And you can let everything go. You can rest on the pillow, or you can just let your head hang like this. So go ahead and breathe. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your shoulders or your head. Just relax every muscle. You might find yourself sinking a little more deeply with the gravity. Slowly make your way back up to seated, and you can stretch your legs out in front of you. And then we are going to roll over to our bellies. And once you get there, go ahead and we're going to stack our elbows underneath our shoulders, our hands just out in front of us. And so we're coming up, getting a counter stretch for our back. And we'll just pause here for a moment in Sphinx. Again, if you have lower back issues, you can just rest here and you do not have to do this. Anything that does not work in your body, just skip it. But this should give you a nice stretch in your lower back for just a moment here. And then come back down to your belly. And you'll put your arms out like an airplane. And go ahead and rest on your left cheek and ear. And you will go ahead and start to roll towards your right shoulder. This is different for everyone. So it might be that just a half frog is going to work for you for bringing your leg up. It might be that this amount of turn is all that you need and you're getting a stretch in your right shoulder. If you want to go a little further, you can roll a little bit more. You can also take this left leg and kickstand it up and open, and then you have a nice stretch and your left hand can just stay here on the mat and you can just relax. So again, it might be that this open frog is all that you need, and then, or you can stretch here. If you have any shoulder injuries, I would suggest staying in the frog position where you're only turning a little bit on your shoulder. Go ahead and get into your pose and settle in and breathe. Make sure your shoulder is totally relaxed. Feel yourself melt towards the ground. And breathe. Go ahead and slowly move back towards center. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. So again, your sides might be different if you have shoulder issues in one side and not the other. So this time we're going to lie on your left ear and go ahead and you can start to bring your right leg up. You can start to roll. You can keep your right leg up. This might be your pose, or you can continue to roll. You can take your right leg and kickstand it up on the other side of your leg to give yourself a little bit more of a pull on that shoulder. Again, might feel a little uncomfortable, but you should never feel shooting pain. Go ahead and settle into your pose and breathe. Make sure you're relaxing both of your shoulders. Relax towards the floor. Relax your neck and head. Relax your feet. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth and relax your jaw and breathe.
ahead and unwind. And we'll come back to center. And you can bend your knees and bring your feet towards the ceiling.
And you can gently windshield wiper very slowly your feet back and forth. You can come up and we'll come back up through tabletop. And while we're here, let's get that toe stretch in. So tuck your toes under. You can come back, and if it works, you can sit on your feet or near your feet and come back as much as you can. You can just sit on your feet for a moment here. Feel a good stretch on the top of your feet. And then we'll go ahead and walk forward and gently put your feet on the tops of your feet. And we'll walk back again, sitting on or towards your feet. And if you can keep going, you can keep walking your arms back and rocking onto the top of your feet and popping your knees up, and that will stretch the tops of your feet. Next, we're going to practice thread the needle. So you might need some pillows for this one. If it does not work for you to come into child's pose like this, if you can come with your knees wide, toes touching, and if you can sit back on your feet, then I recommend practicing this way. This will open your hips, and we're going to get a nice stretch in our shoulders. If this does not work for you, you can do it this other way. You're going to get the same shoulder stretch where you have your knees close together, and you're going to keep your hips up when you come down. So you can practice either way. This way is going to give you more blood flow to your hips, and the other way, just a different stretch, but we'll get the same shoulder stretch. So with our left hand in the middle of the mat, we'll go ahead and come up. We're going to thread the needle through. And if your shoulder is just hanging out in the air, grab some pillows, something, block pillow, something, put something underneath here so that when you come down, and you might want a bigger pillow because you can have your head and your shoulders on this pillow when you come down, and your left arm can kind of hang out to the side. If you do make it down to the mat and it's comfortable for you, it'll get more of a stretch if that works for you. If it doesn't, you're getting the same stretch whether you have the pillow or not. It's not how the pose looks, but how you are stretching what needs to be stretched in your body. So go ahead and settle in. So we're coming up, going through and coming down. Please use pillows where you need them, and settle in, relaxing your shoulders, your neck. You should feel a good stretch in your hips, your lower back, and just let everything relax. Or let that left shoulder, let both shoulders totally relax. Let your head relax. Close your eyes and breathe. Make sure you are breathing and that your shoulders are relaxed. So come up and unwind, and we're going to repeat that on the other side. So this time your right hand, or whichever one was not last time, in the middle. And we will come up and stretch, and we'll bring our left shoulder to the ground, or if you did it opposite, it doesn't matter, your other side. Again, if it doesn't touch, use a pillow. Go ahead and settle in to your pose with your left shoulder, or right, if you did the other one the first time, on the ground. And just breathe. Relaxing totally into the ground. Make sure your right shoulder is also relaxed, that you're not holding any tension anywhere, that let all of your muscles go and just drop into the ground. ahead and unwind, and we will make our way to our backs. When you get here, you can send your hands out to the side. I have mine palms up if that works for you and your body. And go ahead and bring your knees in towards your chest. And then you can drop your knees to the right. If they do not, you need to keep your left shoulder on the mat. So when your knees come down, if it's popping up, go ahead and grab your pillow again and have your knees so they're not hanging out in the air, and also so that your left shoulder is not popping up. If you need a little bit extra, a little extra hip opening, a little extra twist, you can cross your left leg over your right before you twist and come to the ground. Once you get here, go ahead, and if it works in your head, neck, and shoulders, turn your head and look towards your left hand. And then you can close your eyes and just settle in. These kinds of twists are great for our digestive system. And actually, it will stimulate and massage all of our internal organs. They need some exercise and love as well. So go ahead and settle in and breathe here. Go ahead and come back to center. And we're going to repeat that on the other side. So adjust yourself on what you need to do to drop to the left side. Again, if you want to, you can cross your right leg over if you need more of a stretch. Otherwise, just bring your knees to the ground. Do not let your right shoulder pop off the ground this time. Use pillows underneath your knees if you need to. And have a nice stretch. You should feel a good stretch on your right side. Turn your head to look at your right hand this time. And just fully breathe and relax into the ground. Make sure your hips are totally relaxed, your shoulders are relaxed, your neck is relaxed, and breathe. Slowly unwind and come back to center. Take any stretches that you need to make before you come into our final Shavasana. You can. Happy baby is always good, the one where you have your feet like you're walking on the ceiling and your knees are towards your armpits and you can grab for your feet or your shins and gently rock a little bit. You might need to stretch a little bit and then go ahead and settle in. Arms at your side, your feet a little wider than hip width. Let your feet just flop open and check out how your body's feeling. Does it feel any different than it did at the beginning of class? How is your breathing? And just close your eyes and take a moment to settle into the mat and breathe. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana. If you want to move towards a seated position with me, you can start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll to your favorite side using your bottom arm as a pillow, and you can pause for a moment in this yogi fetal position. Go ahead and make your way up to a seated position, or not if you would like to stay in Shavasana. Come up to your favorite position. You could bring your hands to heart center. I'm going to have us sing together Om Shanti, 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 which is for peace. You can just listen or you can sing along. Again, most of you are practicing somewhere by yourself, so no one will hear. And again, this is good for that vagus nerve for releasing anxiety. And it also sending good vibes to all of you by chanting about peace. So go ahead and listen along and sing if you wish. So on the exhale and then inhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I wish you all peace a namaste, which means I bow to the light in you. And may all living creatures live in peace. And thank you so much for practicing with me. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday and a wonderful weekend. And I hope to see you again here next week.
Thanks,
Thank you, Anne.
Yay.
Thank you.